Good evening. Welcome to the Commencement pre-show. Welcome to Yankee Stadium. This is finally happening. A little belated, but so well-deserved. It's a graduation, it's a reunion, it's a celebration. It's so good to see you in person. I see family up there and guests. I see you back here. This is, hello. How are you feeling? Is this Gallatin? Gallatin, okay, they have the fun yellow foam things back here. Love it. So good to see you in person and online. A shout out to all of you tuning in to the live stream as well. I'm Sapna Parikh, coming to you live from the field in this iconic New York City location, Yankee Stadium, home of the Yankees since 2009. There will be a formal land acknowledgement just a little bit later in the ceremony. But for now, as you're making your way down to your seats, I hope you'll hang out with us for the next half hour. We'll be celebrating graduates, or should I say alumni? Graduates, alumni, both?
I think both. It's so nice to see you here today, Sapna.
So nice to see you, Mickey. We're going to be celebrating students who have excelled in academics, artistic achievement, entrepreneurial endeavors, and of course, service. And Mickey, you are the perfect proof that one person really can make a difference. Mickey, during the lockdown, had this painting that had a fundraiser, raised enough money to feed more than 600 jeepney drivers and their families in the Philippines. So good to have you here. Can you talk a little bit about this painting?
Sure, so I did this painting 2 years ago, right in the height of COVID, around my birthday. And you can see a Philippine Jeep, which is sort of like a bus holding frontline workers and other essential workers that were so important to us during the pandemic and still now. I just wanted to give back and make this little painting and start this fundraising drive.
I know, and you never imagined just how much money you would raise with this. And a jeepney, we should tell you, is a really popular method of public transportation in the Philippines, but it's much more than that. It's a cultural, colorful part of the culture. Can you talk a little bit more about the jeepneys?
Definitely, jeepneys were introduced in the Philippines right after the war, and they're predominantly made out of scrap metals. So I think it's such a wonderful kind of example of, people coming together, people making things their own, and every jeepney driver has their own jeepney and they decorate it their own way, so I wanted to pay tribute to that in this painting.
And you grew up in the Philippines until you were about 7 years old,
yes.
Right? And so I know that you've loved these jeepneys. And can you just talk a little bit more about what was involved in this fundraiser, the logistics, trying to figure out what the actual need was?
Definitely. So we were so lucky to work with the Office of the Vice President in terms of actually distributing all of the goods and the funds and actually finding out what was needed by those families on the ground. So we're very thankful to our partners at the Office of the Vice President for all of their help in that.
And that was thanks to an NYU hookup. Her daughter graduated this morning from NYU, but together you all made such a difference. Is there anything you learned from this that you took away from this experience?
I think it's crazy. I was stuck in New Jersey during in COVID, and just the fact that from all the way here I could help so many people all the way there in my home country, that meant so much to me. So, hopefully more people are inspired to help, even though they feel far away, you can still make a difference.
Definitely, and I know you've called yourself an amateur painter, is what you said, but you've made such a difference. And really quick, the name of your campaign, can you teach us? So this is in a Filipino phrase, Tara na, you tell us.
Yep, so this is a Filipino phrase, tara na, which means let's go, which I think is super apt for this moment right now. We're about to start the commencement for graduation 2020 and 2021. So tara na, let's go.
Tara na, let's go. All right, thank you so much, Nikki Santana. All right, I'm gonna have you go. Just don't go too far because you're gonna come back in just a little bit. Next we have Jade. Hello. Oh, you can stay right here. Yeah, you're perfect. How are you feeling today?
I feel great. I'm happy.
So good to see you. So Jade launched this company, She Matters, which has made such a difference for Black women with postpartum depression, but it's been so successful already in just this short amount of time. Can you tell us a little bit more about your company?
Sure, we're a digital health platform designed to support Black women who experience postpartum comorbidities like postpartum anxiety and depression, hemorrhaging, preeclampsia, and we do that through supporting them with culturally competent healthcare providers, culturally relevant resources, and community.
Yes, totally worthy of applause for sure. And I know you've worked so hard on this. And as part of this was inspired by your own story, we're looking at a picture of your adorable two girls. Can you talk a little bit about the inspiration behind it?
Yes, I started She Matters with my best friend Marguerite Pierce after experiencing terrible postpartum anxiety and depression. As a Black woman in the maternal health sector, it's really hard to get the care that you need and deserve. And so my daughter inspired me to help make change for other Black women who have babies and deserve optimal care.
So needed. And when I spoke to you the first time, you had just finished a round of raising capital and you had just raised $2 million at that time, which is incredible. And you've also talked about some of the challenges that women of color face when it comes to raising funds.
Yes. It's very hard for anybody to raise funds, but if you're a woman of color, there are prejudices just like anything else. And I think I just want to shout out all female entrepreneurs who are able to raise capital and who get out there every day after receiving countless no's. It's hard, but it also explains why we're successful at what we do.
And I think you have a book coming out on that topic.
I do. I have a book called Lean While Black about lean startup methodology for BIPOC founders.
Great, a little book promotion. So good to see you. I didn't even, do you want to give a shout out to your school and what year?
Steinhardt 2021, and I want to give a shout out to my kids, Kenora and Cameron Peltier.
Yes, a shout out to them also. We saw that adorable picture. You can stay right here, thank you. We are gonna actually take a quick break, but keep your eyes right on the Jumbotron and look around for a camera person. You might just see yourself up there on the screen. Welcome back to the Commencement Pre-Show. I'm Sapna, and I'm here with Frank, who is an Army veteran and a social work grad ×2. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good, thank you.
Do you want to tell everyone your full name and maybe your school and your year?
Yeah, my name is Frank Laskowitz, and my school is NYU Silver School of Social Work, and I graduated 2021 with my bachelor's, and my master's 2022.
Which was yesterday, I think, your graduation. Congratulations ×2, and thank you so much for your service, for being an Army veteran. So I know you spent a little bit of time in Korea, but can you talk a little bit about where you were stationed, and your work in the military?
Yeah, I was over by the DMZ. We were just tasked with training a lot in case anything happened. I didn't get to see a lot of South Korea because all we did was train as a group, but it was good.
And Frank is so humble, I should tell you. And the DMZ, I should tell you, is the demilitarized zone in Korea. And you have a long family history of service in your family, I think, right? Goes back a couple generations.
Yeah, family, dad, grandpa, uncle, we go back.
And can you talk about some of the struggles that you faced while you were in the military? Because I know you've told me that inspired your career in social work.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of trauma, being away from family and all the things that come with serving. And it was a social worker that helped me with all my trauma, and he told me what I needed to do, and 3 years later, here I am.
3 years, here you are. He was a social worker. I know those support groups, he was so helpful to you. So excited to see you and to see your career path, and you're actually already working in the field, right? Can you just tell us at the nonprofit, what are you doing already?
Yeah, I work for HRC, NYC, support people with disabilities, and I support them in a college setting, and I love it. Every day I come to work just happy.
Such a great attitude. I think we don't realize the Army veterans that are at NYU would love to, I want to hear you make some noise for Frank, an Army veteran, for all of your service. Thank you for your service both then and your service now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to NYPD, FDNY. Thank you for protecting us, keeping us safe, and everybody else.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much. You can head right over there. Just don't go far because we're going to have you come back. And next we have Caitlin and Pantilla, who are the co-founders of Sabai. How are you? How are both of you?
Doing great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for being here. How is this feeling today? I know it's a little belated.
Yeah, it's 2 years later for me, and
Only 8 months, so I'm still excited.
To extend the excitement for a couple years. So the two of you co-founded Sabai, which is a sustainable furniture company, but I know it's so much more than that. It's so much more than that. Can you just, it launched in 2019, and already you have more than $6 million in sales, and it's climbing?
yeah, exactly. So Sabai is an end-to-end sustainable furniture company. So really rethinking how you create sustainable furniture products, but also for repairing, revamping, and reselling as well.
And we're looking at some video right now of some of the incredible furniture that your company makes and designs. And I know you're holding some pillows, which we'll come talk about in a minute. But this furniture, can you talk a little bit about the sustainability? What makes your furniture sustainable and eco-friendly?
Pantilla talked a little bit about the life cycles of it all, but in addition to selling the pieces secondhand, we also have sustainable materials. Things are made out of FSC certified wood, recycled fibers, and we also do fabric that is made out of recycled water bottles.
And let's talk about the pillows. They're carrying pillows, just to be more comfortable in their seats after this is over. But no, talk about the sustainability of these pillows and the fabric.
Yeah, so we weren't able to carry our sofas here, so we brought just pillows today, which utilize this velvet fabric made out of recycled plastic bottles. We also have sofas and are actually coming out with coffee tables next month that utilize reclaimed carbon smart wood. And so essentially try to use recycled, reclaimed, upcycled, and non-toxic materials.
And coffee tables are next, right? You're expanding with coffee tables, and I think you have a pop-up in New York City right now. Where is that?
We do have a pop-up in Nolita, I believe, at 347 Broome Street, so everybody should come check it out.
Check it out, yes. Do we get an NYU discount?
Yes, we do. For any grads who are graduating, we have an NYU discount, so if you're moving and need some sustainable furniture, you can check us out.
I totally just put them on the spot with that. But you know what? That's the problem with graduating. You lost your student discount. Now you get an alumni discount. Really quick, I just want to talk about the inspiration behind this because I know the two of you met in undergrad at another New York City university that shall remain unnamed, the Uptown one. But you worked on this a lot together, and the inspiration, I think, came from your own experience with your apartment.
Yeah, essentially as young professionals trying to furnish our own apartments, but also caring about sustainability, trying to eat less meat, trying to buy more secondhand, we just found that it was really difficult to do when it came to actually creating your space, and so decided to create a solution for people like us.
And really quick, Sabai, what does that mean? I know there's a meaning there.
There is a meaning. I'm from Thailand, and Sabai is a Thai word that essentially means everything from easy, comfy, to cozy.
Oh, it sounds great. I love it. And your schools, really quick. Tell us where you graduated.
Yeah. I graduated from Stern Langone.
And the law school.
Great. Thank you so much, Sabai. Your company already $6 million in sales. That is incredible. We are going to take another quick break, but first, another quick message from the New York Yankees.
On behalf of the entire Yankees organization, I want to welcome the graduates and their families to Yankee Stadium for NYU's commencement exercises.
NYU graduates will celebrate their degrees in many academic fields today, but there's one field you've got to stay off of, and that's the playing field.
New York always recognizes a winner, and we are proud of all of you. Enjoy your graduation, but remember, enjoy it from your seats and stay off the field.
Congratulations to the NYU class of 2020 and class of 2021.
Welcome back to the Commencement pre-show. I'm Sapna. I'm here with Matt.
So great to be here. Thanks for having me. Hello, Yankee Stadium.
Graduated in 2020.
Yes.
Matt is not only a Gallatin grad, but he's also a comedian and an impressionist. Your repertoire includes more than 250 impressions.
That's right. Yeah, it's a little crazy. Thanks to Gallatin for admitting me and allowing me to do something with this ability. Yeah.
I hope you're ready to.
Yeah.
We've got Gallatin behind us.
There we go.
With their
I
yellow.
love Gallatin, the best.
So he's been featured on Jimmy Kimmel Live, on the Today Show, you've done sets at Caroline's, and your big break, can you talk a little bit about that break from Kenan Thompson's showcase?
Yeah, I think it all started with NYU accepting me. If they didn't accept me, I wouldn't have been able to jump straight into the New York comedy scene, go to class, go to the open mic. So thank God for NYU, Gallatin and NYU, and this was just the best. I loved it. I'm so lucky to have been an NYU student. Yeah.
Gallatin by day, you were at Gotham Comedy Club by night.
Yeah, double agent. Double agent, yeah.
And during lockdown, really quick, I know lockdown shut down all of the comedy clubs, obviously, but you started your own show.
Yes, during the pandemic, we all needed some way to pivot, so I made a little late night talk show with a friend of mine from NYU, actually, who produced it. Sebastian, if you're watching, thank you, my friend. And we made over 50 episodes, sketches, interviews, topical monologues, and it was such a great experience, and then pivoted to social media, TikTok, Instagram, not Truth Social. Instagram, and now I'm here and doing stand-up back in the city at Yankee Stadium. The party is starting.
The party is started.
Party tonight.
The party's already on.
Yeah.
And you know what? So he does more than 250 impressions.
Yes.
But what you might not know is maybe you've heard that President Andy Hamilton is stepping down, and so we're holding auditions for a new president.
Yes.
So I heard maybe the past couple of presidents don't have a whole lot going on right now.
Well, it's true, and there's a lot of people that is saying that they didn't want me to speak, but Andy's stepping down, and what I can tell you is I'm going to really run this school, and we're going to see what Barack is saying, right?
Well, what I can say is that in addition to my work with Netflix, I will now be running New York University. So thank you, Mr. Hamilton, for the opportunity.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. I think NYU could also use somebody just a little more celebrity, maybe Rami Malek?
Yeah, well, if I could just say, being here at Yankee Stadium reminds me of my work as Freddie Mercury at Live Aid. Can I get an A-O? Yeah, that was fun. But thanks, Andy, on taking your job too, man. It's incredible.
Thank you, Rami. Thank you, Freddie Mercury. How about somebody a little just more enigmatic?
Yes.
Shall I say Timothy Chalamet?
Sure. It's so great to be here. I'm a Gallatin alum. I think as an actor, you wear your heart on your sleeve, and as president of NYU, I'll make sure to do the same thing because it's so surreal to be here. Thank you so much to NYU. Whoa!
Taylor said to be cringe, by the way, so I'm just following the rules. Yeah.
Not cringe. Maybe looking back, but definitely not now. What about, since Andy is British, maybe just a little British humor?
Well, this is John Oliver, and welcome to Yankee Stadium. Of course, NYU chooses another British person to be the next president. Thank you very much, Mr. Hamilton, for keeping it in the family. Thank you very much.
So good. That was so good. I think I've made my decision, though. You all have had such a crazy couple years with the pandemic. I really think Dr. Fauci should be the new president of NYU.
Well, all I can say is that in the event that I am selected to be the next president of NYU, I would say more and more people should be wearing a mask in every class and every dorm. Thank you very much. Instagram @TheMadFriend. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug, so good. I want to hear you make some noise for Matt Friend.
Love you, NYU.
So good. We are just about out of time. I want to have everyone come back out. The official procession is just a few moments away. That is excellent. Thank you for letting us put you on the spot.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you all for sharing your stories. Thank you all for being here. And thanks to you, I know this is a little belated celebration, but it's so well-deserved. It's a reunion, it's a celebration. I want to give a shout out to my crew here on the field and out in the truck. I'm Sapna Parikh. But first, we want to hear from you. How's everybody feeling?
Yeah! Feeling amazing.
All right. How is everybody feeling? I can't hear you. I can see you, but I can't hear you. If you are excited for the celebration you so deserve, I want to hear you make some noise.
Yeah!
Groove on, keep that energy going. The faculty procession is just a few moments away. Get up, get moving. We want to see you get your groove on. Have a great day. You deserve it.
Graduates, families, friends, please take your seats. In a few moments, the New York University faculty will enter the stadium. Please remember that access to the field is strictly prohibited at all times. Thank you. Please welcome members of the New York University faculty. Please welcome representatives of the Administrative Management Council, Student Government Assembly, 1831 Fund, and Senior Class Activities Board, carrying the university colors and leading the 189th Commencement Platform Party into the stadium. Fellow Violets, please give a hearty welcome to members of the New York University Alumni Association and to members of our 50th anniversary classes from 1970 and 1971 who join us today to celebrate our graduates. Please welcome New York University's class of 2020 and class of 2021 school banner bearers, deans, and class representatives, marching in founding order. College of Arts and Science. School of Law. Grossman School of Medicine. Tandon School of Engineering. College of Dentistry. Graduate School of Arts and Science. Steinhardt School of Culture, Education, and Human Development. Leonard N. Stern School of Business. Rory Myers College of Nursing. School of Professional Studies. Robert F. Wagner Graduate School of Public Service. Silver School of Social Work. Tisch School of the Arts. Gallatin School of Individualized Study. Liberal Studies. NYU Abu Dhabi. NYU Shanghai. School of Global Public Health. Now entering the stadium are university leadership and honorary degree recipients, led by our Chief Marshal. Esteemed guests, the Provost of New York University, Catherine Fleming.
Here now, in the presence of candidates for academic recognition, members of the faculty and administration, alumni, trustees, honored guests and friends, New York University's 189th commencement is hereby convened.
Please welcome Lisa Coleman, Senior Vice President for Global Inclusion and Strategic Innovation and Chief Diversity Officer.
Hello, I'm Dr. Lisa Coleman, and my pronouns are she and her. It's a pleasure to be here today celebrating the class of 2020 and 2021. Congratulations. Let us take this moment to acknowledge the lands of indigenous peoples whose lands we now occupy. As we gather here in New York City and across our various sites and virtually, NYU acknowledges that the university as a global institution is located on the unceded lands and was founded upon the exclusions and erasures of indigenous peoples globally, as well as the discounted labor of many. We as a community continue to address these legacies of settler colonialism and work to both recognize and dismantle systemic exclusions and systems of oppression. I ask you to join me in acknowledging elders and those who've come before us, as well as current and future generations who continue to pave the way for us to be here today, those who are known to us, as well as those whose labor and intellectual contributions have gone unacknowledged. Without these crucial global contributions, we would not be here to build upon this work. We are appreciative and respectful of these foundations. Please join me in a 5-second moment of silence in honor and recognition.
And now, please rise for the national anthem led by Burn Time, who received a Master of Music degree from the Steinhardt School of Culture, Education, and Human Development in 2020.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Distinguished guests, member of the Board of Trustees, Evan R. Chesler.
Hello, classes of 2020 and 21. I'm Evan Chesler. I am a trustee, and I'm a proud graduate of the College of Arts and Science class of 70 and the School of Law class of 75. I want to welcome all of you to this long-awaited occasion at Yankee Stadium. We are so pleased to be celebrating with you tonight, marking this significant, hard-earned milestone in your lives. The Empire State Building glowed violet in your honor last night. This was a symbol of our enormous pride in you and in our city. I'd also like to welcome my classmates from 1970 and the class of 71 for our 50th reunions. Times were very different when we were here. There were fewer schools. We had 2 study-away sites. Bobst was opened when I was a law student here. We were not the global powerhouse that we are today. But some things endure. We had then, and we have now, great professors who care deeply about their students. And I credit my career to the wonderful education I received here. I hope you feel the same way as you embark upon your careers. We share something very important, our connection to NYU. We are all members of an illustrious group of 600,000 alumni around the world. I hope you have already found that NYU's network of graduates is a great form of support for you as you move through your careers. I promise you it will be. Your relationship with your alma mater can be enormously rewarding. So while you have left the campus, please do not leave your university. We are joined this evening by 3 extraordinary honorary degree recipients, each of whom has made an indelible imprint in their respective fields. They broke through barriers. They chartered whole new territories in disability rights, in arts and culture, in history and journalism. They stand before you as models of what you can be. My fellow trustees and I are confident that you, the classes of 2020 and 2021, have already begun to make your mark on the world. We know you are already out in the world creating your own paths. What we do today is applaud you, honor you, and welcome you home. Thank you.
We now present a video tribute to the class of 2020 and the class of 2021, featuring alumni from each of our schools.
Well, that was a wild 2 years, but we're finally here and we made it.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're at Yankee Stadium. Ah!
I graduated from the College of Arts and Science.
I graduated from Gallatin. I graduated from Liberal Studies.
And I graduated from Steinhardt.
From the Tandon School of Engineering.
From NYU Shanghai.
And I graduated from the NYU College of Nursing.
And I graduated from NYU Law.
I graduated from Tisch.
From NYU Abu Dhabi.
From the Silver School of Social Work.
I graduated from NYU Wagner School of Public Service.
I graduated from Stern.
From the Grossman School of Medicine.
And I graduated from the School of Professional Studies.
And I graduated from the Graduate School of Arts and Science.
And I graduated from the NYU College of Dentistry.
And I graduated from the School of Global Public Health.
What initially brought me to NYU is the experience of being in the Big Apple. Every day was essentially a new adventure because the city was my campus.
It was so important, I think, for me to learn things not just in the academic classroom, but to think outside.
NYU provided so many opportunities to find your people. I definitely was able to build my own community at NYU and make the big city feel small.
The NYU community is sort of like a family for me.
It's constantly moving, changing, evolving.
Very curious, thought-provoking.
There's this blend of thought, culture, history. The diversity is unparalleled.
It was great being in friend circles where one person's, studying politics, the other person's studying economics, the other person's, getting ready for law school.
I felt like I could bring my full self to NYU.
It's not really the university where you only find one path and you stick to that. You have the opportunity to explore.
I really got to take classes in different schools, just getting to try different things and not being necessarily worried that it was going to be the thing I was best at or my future career.
I started off as a biology major and ended as an interactive media major.
The professors that I've had the pleasure of being in class with are super engaging and really care about you as a person.
They always wanted you to question preconceived notions.
You just go beyond yourself, maybe sometimes beyond your own expectations when you have this kind of environment.
I'm honored to be the first in my family to attend college and achieve my dream as an immigrant, top honors scholar, and United States citizen.
There were so many people I knew and so many people who were there to support me, and I missed that after college, to be honest.
What I'll say I miss the most is the exploration. There's always something going on.
I definitely just miss being in a room full of amazing people, just throwing ideas out there and brainstorming.
One of my favorite memories at NYU was actually not in New York City, but in Abu Dhabi. I spent 10 days in the J-term program.
I studied abroad in Prague,
Sydney,
Berlin,
Tel Aviv,
London, NYU Shanghai. It was such a mind-blowing experience.
It was the furthest that I've ever been away from home. I've definitely gotten to say that multiple times during my NYU experience.
Being at NYU helped me realize that I will always be learning to discover different parts of the world, different communities and cultures, and that's beautiful.
NYU gave me the opportunity to become a leader.
I definitely grew as a practitioner, as a colleague, as a friend, as a mentor.
Talking to my peers, going into different clubs and classes, opened my eyes to what was out there and what could be possible.
Everyone's changed so much and life has changed so much.
I work full-time at a nonprofit called Equine Green. I'm also a poet, part of a group called Ars Poetica.
I'm based in Bogota, Colombia, and I'm working for the Chelsea Film Festival.
A nonprofit that primarily works in the criminal, legal, and immigration fields.
An analyst at a company called Sneak.
At Columbia University, I do programming for first-generation students of color.
I am a corporate attorney.
I work as a pediatric registered nurse.
New York City and NYU prepared me to be the industry professional I am today.
NYU brought us all together, and now we're all spread back out, but it's really great to know that wherever you go, you might run into someone who went to NYU.
Now, whenever I see someone in NYU gear, I, in my head, just go, oh, we have somehow overlapped at some point.
The moment I found out that we'd all be at Yankee again, I thought back to the moment where we all were suddenly, potentially never gonna see each other again, because it did come so abruptly.
I don't think there's any right way to process what we've been through. It's such a blessing, to see everybody.
It's really special to bring us all back together under that same banner.
This graduation is not only for me, but also for the people that brought me here. It took a village for me to be here, and I think that's the same for so many students at NYU.
It's a one last hoorah for our class, right? But it's also the start of this journey where we're now part of this entire community of NYU alumni, and seeing all the people around me who I know will support me through the rest of my life, I think is really powerful.
Oh man, everyone right here in my dining room?
Well, I have a little thing here.
I'll put the hat on for this one.
To the class of 2020 and my class of 2021, I just want to say, one, you probably heard it so much, but congratulations. So much during the pandemic has been long, tiresome, and here's a big moment where there's nothing but celebration.
I think this can be something very powerful to us, the memory and the people that we met at NYU.
Congratulations to the class of 2020 and 2021.
Congratulations, everyone.
2021년 졸업생 여러분, 졸업 진심으로 축하드립니다.
Conferral.
Mabruk, class of 2020 and 2021.
恭喜大家
Congratulations.
Felicidades a todos.
恭喜大家，我们毕业了。
Also herzlichen Glückwunsch.
We did it.
Congratulations.
Cherish this moment. You deserve it.
Please welcome Amy Gunn, who received the Bachelor of Science from the Leonard N. Stern School of Business in 2020, and who will now address her fellow alumni.
Hello, class of 2020. And class of 2021, we're glad you're here too. To all of us, I lift an imaginary toast goblet to say congratulations on officially graduating again. My name's Amy, but if you don't know who I am, that's totally cool. I got dinner a month ago with a few study abroad friends from 2017, and our conversation literally started with someone pointing at me and saying, "Oh my God, I totally forgot you existed." We all laughed, and then we admitted to each other just how far and long ago everything NYU felt. Things like study abroad, exams, even each other. But today, with all of us gathered here at Yankee Stadium, of course, we're reminded about everything NYU again. Today, we all chose to consciously hit pause on our now adult lives to take a look back. And because this isn't a normal commencement, and because these past 2 years haven't been normal years, I'm sure I'm the first one who's told you that, I'll forego the usual let's go change the world speech and instead ask us all to spend the next few minutes on the past. If I asked you to recall one memory at NYU that'll last you for a lifetime, I'm sure you'd have one. In fact, not just one, but dozens and hundreds that made you want to come back here and celebrate today. I know that I've been thinking about this particular moment for a long time now, because for me, to be standing here is nothing short of a miracle. In 2017, after my fall semester in Prague, I was diagnosed with an eating disorder and told I was lucky to be alive. I was extremely underweight, had a shrunken heart, and was this close to having a heart attack end my life. I was pulled out of NYU in the spring, and I spent it at home alone, recovering my weight, and more importantly, my sense of self. What did it mean to be alive? To live a life truly worth living? And when I returned, I felt acutely aware that I was lucky to be able to do the smallest things, like walk in the city, see a friend, even go to class. I knew I had been granted a second chance at life, so damn it, I was gonna make it worthwhile. And then, thank you. And then COVID hit, and we all went home again, and we all graduated remotely in front of our computer screens. And then it wasn't just me, but all of us who had to think about or rethink what we really wanted out of life. In my case, I moved to Taiwan. I went to go teach English under a Fulbright scholarship, and everything was really good for a couple of months. And then last April, I almost lost my life for the second time in a freak train accident. 2 of my friends, including my roommate at the time, were not as lucky. Now, I'm telling this story not to evoke pity or to make you sad, I promise. I'm telling it because I bet every single one of us sitting here or standing here has experienced loss or grief or sacrifice in some way over the last few years. And in spite of it all, we are here today with our friends and family, and we are very much alive. And if that isn't the definition of resilience, I don't know what is. And though we've lost much, we've also gained much. We've gained perspective. We've gained patience for our others and also for ourselves. And we've gained a collective sense of how precious life really is. Near-death experience or not, we've all had to grapple with the meaning of life these past few years. And at the wise old age of 23, I think I found the answer. For me, the meaning of life is twofold. One, it's about enjoying the passage of time. It's about looking forward, yes, but it's also about looking back, like we are today, and just appreciate every single beautiful moment that we've been able to collect in this short amount of time we call one life. And the second part is recognizing just how short life can be. If nothing else, COVID taught us this. So, class of 2020, if there's just one thing you take away from this speech today, it's that you matter. Your life matters. Your time matters. And because our time here as a family, as a human group, we owe it to ourselves to take advantage of every single moment. Thank you and congratulations again.
Please welcome Thea Radhakrishna, who received the Bachelor of Arts from Liberal Studies in 2021, and who will now address her fellow alumni.
Hello, classes of 2020 and 2021. Can you believe that we are experiencing this once-in-a-lifetime moment of graduation a second time around? What a privilege it is to physically share this space and time with you. I believe that we have made it here today, two incredible communities, because of the resilience, joy, and hope that we've shown in the last years. I see resilience in my international friends in this stadium who have combated global vaccine inequity to be here right now. It's my little brother writing his 12th grade chemistry exam in India as we speak after 2 stressful years of online school. And after graduation, I learned resilience with all of you as we tackled endless cycles of applications and rejections in our new career paths. Joy feels like eating garlic knots with my friend on the floor of my very first postgraduate apartment. It's in every email from my NYU study away mentor, 3 years later, but with the same words. Hallo aus Berlin. Hello from Berlin. It's even in filing my taxes in my first postgrad job and thinking, does this make me an adult now? My ability to find joy in things large and small has stayed with me beyond NYU. In this very speech last year, I spoke about hope to a crowd of computer screens. Back then, it seemed too bold to hope that the landmark virtual moment of graduation would ever become real. Today, as I stand here with you, that hope has been fulfilled. And things are still hard. I mean, my family is still 3,000 miles away in Bangalore, India, watching this at 4 in the morning. Hi, Ma. Hi, Hari. Hi, Doda. Love you. But you know what? This past year, on every video call home, I have seen hope in my mother's eyes as she's watched me gain a deeper, broader understanding of the world. Classes of 2020 and 2021, we've been resilient in overcoming the challenges of life after graduation together. Our presence here today, together, is a testament to our collective ability to cultivate joy in a world full of uncertainties. And right now, our singular paths and diverse perspectives converge in this moment of shared hope. We have carried these qualities into the postgraduate, post-COVID real world as we learn to create the world we really want to live in. It's been a pleasure to grow with you as we graduate from NYU twice with resilience, joy, and hope. Thank you and congratulations.
Those who are about to receive honorary degrees will now be presented. Senior Vice President Lynn Brown will call upon distinguished members of the university faculty to present the honorary degree candidates. Assisting with the investitures will be Provost Catherine Fleming.
Mr. President, I would like to introduce Deborah Willis, University Professor, Chair, Department of Photography and Imaging, Tisch School of the Arts. Professor, Department of Social and Cultural Analysis, Faculty of Arts and Science, and Director, Institute for African American Affairs and the Center for Black Visual Culture, who will present the candidate for Doctor of Humane Letters. Will Trustee Anthony Welters escort the candidate to the lectern?
Welcome. It's really great to be here, class of 2020 and 2021. What an honor. What an honor to introduce my friend, Lonnie G. Bunch III, Secretary of the Smithsonian Institution, historian, educator, curator, documentary producer, and institutional founder. You have broken ground in each of these roles, overseeing 21 museums, 21 libraries, the National Zoo, numerous research centers, and several educational units and centers. You are the first African American and first historian to serve as head of the Smithsonian. A widely published author, you have written new chapters in the American Black experience, from the military to small towns in the American West. As inaugural director of the National Museum of African American History and Culture, you envisioned and turned into a reality a museum on the National Mall that welcomes millions of visitors from our country and around the world. They come to the nation's largest cultural destination, devoted to exploring, documentary, and showcase the African American story and its impact on American and world history. Inspired by the souls and sacrifices of your ancestors, you paid tribute to them in your determination to build a place that would make America better.
Lonnie G. Bunch III, your unswerving dedication to the idea that education and culture can enlighten and heal, and your optimism about the American future inspire us all. By virtue of the authority vested in me, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
I would like to introduce Timothy Naftali, Clinical Associate Professor of Public Service, Robert F. Wagner Graduate School of Public Service, and Clinical Associate Professor of History, Faculty of Arts and Science, who will present the candidate for Doctor of Humane Letters. Will Trustee Phyllis Putter-Barash please escort the candidate to the lectern.
It's a little low. Congratulations, classes of 2020 and 2021. I knew you could make it. I am honored today to join with my colleagues to celebrate an exemplar in my discipline. Jill Lepore, David Woods Kemper, class of 41, Professor of American History at Harvard University. Author of over a dozen prize-winning and influential books that re-engage us with the American past and its lessons. Your research and teaching explore the stories we tell ourselves about our purpose and identity. Honored for your scholarship and your undergraduate teaching, you have also contributed to the fields of law, literature, politics, and technology. Your lucid interpretations of the American narrative engage not only your field, but a vast public through your stunning breadth of subjects in essays, podcasts, and public conversations. Your much lauded writing maintains the highest academic standards of your discipline in a voice that is accessible and compelling. You continually challenge us to confront the history of the United States through the rigor of unsparing analysis and the marshaling of facts. You combine a critical eye with empathy for this diverse nation. In revealing overlooked accomplishments, you have exposed the unfinished work of our democracy, exhorting us, especially this generation of graduates, you, to repair the tattered ship and navigate by the stars.
Jill Lepore, in your scrupulous work as a historian, uncompromising dedication as a teacher, and exhilarating contributions as a public intellectual, You offer new prospects for what informed knowledge can mean to 21st century democracy. By virtue of the authority vested in me, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa.
I would like to introduce Faye Ginsberg, David P. Kreiser, Professor of Anthropology, Paulette Goddard, Director of the Center for Religion and Media, Department of Anthropology, Faculty of Arts and Science, and co-chair of the NYU Center for Disability Studies, who will present the candidate for Doctor of Humane Letters. Will Trustee David Katz please escort the candidate to the lectern?
Good evening, graduates of 2020 and 2021. It's such an honor to be able to introduce Judith Heumann. She is an internationally respected disability rights activist and a policymaker. Judith, you have been challenging the unequal treatment of disabled people throughout your life. You are carrying on the vision of your unstoppable parents, Ilsa and Werner Heumann. May their memories be a blessing. Among your trailblazing accomplishments, you were the first wheelchair user to teach at a public school in New York City. There's a long list. The first director of the Department of Disability Services in the District of Columbia. The first advisor to the World Bank on Disability and Development. You are an amazing and unrepentant badass, and I'm not the first person to tell you that. You have organized countless protests and sit-ins in your fight for disability rights, one of which successfully pressured the Carter administration to implement protections for disabled people and ignited a national disability rights movement that eventually led to the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act in 1990, which has transformed all our lives. You also, as if that weren't enough, worked with the U.S. Congress to develop legislation that would eventually become the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, from which all of you have profited. You served in the U.S. Department of Education under President Clinton and in the U.S. Department of State under President Obama. Your reach and influence in shaping international disability rights and justice is unparalleled. Thank you, Judith, and congratulations.
Judith Heumann, your accomplishments exemplify what one person can do to galvanize communities, launch a multifaceted movement, embed its values in legislation, and energize democracy in action. By virtue of the authority vested in me, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. I am now delighted to introduce Judith Heumann, who will respond on behalf of the honorary degree recipients this evening.
Good evening, everyone. Let me first deviate from my prepared remarks just to say that this movement is made up of thousands of people, and you are many of them. No one person ever creates a movement. Remember that. I would like to begin by thanking President Hamilton, members of the board, faculty and staff, distinguished guests, fellow honorees, all the families here tonight, and last but certainly not least, from near and far and online, the graduating classes of 2020 and 2021. It's been a minute, but you made it at last. It's a huge honor for me to return from New York, to New York, to be with all of you this evening, and to share this stage with such luminaries, such impressive and accomplished honorees as Lonnie Bunch and Jill Lepore. Your careers have been truly breathtaking, and all our lives have been enriched by your respective commitments to ensuring that our history and our culture are informed and animated by the voices of all people, including those whose lives and stories others have sought to devalue, to deny, and to denigrate. Thank you for all you continue to do to keep us informed, curious, and questioning, all things we need for a vibrant democracy. I understand there were some other honorees here for the class of 2022 earlier today. And that ceremony was a particularly hot ticket. Anybody here try to sneak in? I was tempted to. Believe it or not, Taylor Swift and I keep ending up at the same events, but never quite at the same time. I swear the same thing happened at the Sundance Film Festival in 2020. Anyone who can write lyrics like I could build a castle out of all the bricks they threw at me is definitely someone I would like to meet. Now, I've led protests that have closed down traffic on Madison Avenue. I've led peaceful sit-ins of federal buildings. I've testified before Congress on more than a few occasions. And I've even been the subject of a Comedy Central drunk history story. I have to confess, though, that nothing made me quite so apprehensive as the prospect of preparing remarks for your graduating classes. Why? Well, usually graduating classes are filled with people who have just finished their degrees, who are on the precipice of heading out into the world, and in many, though not all cases, are individuals who have yet to experience a major challenge or disruption in their lives. You completed your studies 1-2 years ago. You're already out working, pursuing further degrees, or otherwise moving on with your lives. And as of disruptions, if the last 2 years don't count as life-altering, I'm not sure what does. I've lived through a lot of upheaval in my life, but even for me, the last 2 years have been singularly remarkable. Back in early 2020, I was so excited at all the opportunities that were coming up. I was promoting my new book, Being Human, and participating in film festivals to support the documentary film, Crip Camp, which would later be nominated for an Oscar. It never occurred to me that all the events coming up on my calendar wouldn't just go ahead as planned. I still remember appearing on The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, and then just days later, bam. It was as though someone had slammed on the brakes for the entire world, and everything was different. Anyone who knows me will tell you that I am a capital E for extrovert. I love meeting people and being out and about, being part of the hustle and bustle of the world. You can take the girl out of Brooklyn, but you can't take Brooklyn out of the girl. I do not like to sit still. I can't presume to know how it was for you to have this happen in the middle of your school year. But for me, suddenly, the world felt much smaller, and a lot quieter. And then came what we in the disability community feared: disabled people dying because our lives were considered less worthy of treatment, deaf people being hospitalized with no access to sign language interpreters to understand what was happening, or to meaningfully participate in decision-making about their care. People losing access to personal assistance services they needed to be able to live independently and avoid ending up in institutions. Over 200,000 residents and staff in long-term care facilities died of COVID, which accounts for more than 23% of all COVID deaths in the US. And many were unable to see their families even at the end of life. At times like that, it can be easy to feel overwhelmed, to feel powerless to change things, or to just give up and take it for granted that nothing can be done. But the disability community knew better. We're used to people telling us there are no solutions and then creating our own. So we did what we do best. We reached out to each other and to our allies, and we mobilized across communities to make change to benefit and include everyone in society. We demanded that the civil rights laws we'd fought so hard for be enforced in healthcare facilities, workplaces, transportation, schools, and elsewhere. We formed networks of support to keep each other connected and nourished in body and mind. And we smiled as society at large suddenly discovered online video conferencing technologies and workplace flexibilities that disabled people had been at the forefront of developing and advocating for long before the rest of the world realized they could be part of the new normal. And we embraced the ever-widening diversity of our community and the strength that we know comes with that. The disability community is one that anyone can join at any time. So our identities are naturally intertwined with all other groups in societies around the world. And with more people self-identifying as having a disability because of long COVID and society's increased interest in discussing mental health because of the impacts of the last 2 years, I am hopeful that yet more people will feel empowered to embrace their disability identity, and that everyone will finally realize disability is different. It is not deficiency. You've probably heard the Dr. Martin Luther King quote, that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. What is less often quoted is what he said next. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. If we haven't learned that after the last 2 years, I'm not sure what it will take to get people to recognize the truth of those words. We simply can no longer take it for granted that what affects others, for better or worse, and wherever they are in the world, won't also impact us all. The last few years have been hard, and at times heartbroken. No question about it. But like the finest of swords, or chocolates if you prefer. The tempering you've experienced in the forge of the pandemic has made you stronger, even when you might not always feel that way. That's why I am so excited about the world you are going to rebuild and are already shaping with your creativity, your power, and your diverse voices. Now and in the coming years, there are myriad issues that will require us to come together across diverse communities if we are to meet those challenges. Whether it is global climate change, promoting biodiversity, protecting democracy, preserving our reproductive rights, creating communities that are more resilient, equitable, and inclusive, or simply supporting each other as we muddle our way through the daily challenges of life. Please know, and I know you believe, that you are up to those challenges. To the NYU classes of 20 and 21, congratulations. I wish you strength and good fortune as you move forward with your lives. And remember, never take for granted that you too have your part to play in weaving the strands of that single garment of destiny. Thank you.
Please welcome the Tisch Singers with a tribute to New York City and the class of 2020 and the class of 2021.
NYU class of 2020 and 2021! Welcome back! Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today.
Be a part of it.
New York, New York. These vagabond shoes
are longing to stray
and step around the heart of it.
New York, New York.
I wanna wake up in the city that doesn't sleep,
to find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap.
My little town blues are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York.
If I can make it there, I'd make it anywhere.
It's up to you, New York, New York. New York, New York.
I wanna wake up in a city that doesn't sleep, to find I'm king of the hill, head of the list, cream of the crop at the top of the heap. My little town blues are melting away.
I'll make a brand new start of it in old
Distinguished guests, the President of New York University, Andrew Hamilton.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, graduates of 2020 and 2021. What an absolute delight it is to welcome you here in person at Yankee Stadium, back in the greatest city in the world, New York City, and a warm welcome to all of you tuning in virtually, but especially welcome to our class of 2020 graduates, and welcome to our class of 2021 graduates. I am so pleased to stand in front of you all in this magnificent stadium and celebrate in proper fashion, finally, your graduation from New York University. Now, parents, colleagues, families, and friends, would you please all join me in congratulating our graduates for everything they achieved at their time at NYU. And let me now acknowledge the family and friends who played a pivotal role with their support of our graduates. Now, I'm going to ask you, class of 2020 and class of 2021, try to find your loved ones in the crowd. If you can't find your own loved ones, find someone else's. And I want you to express your thanks to them. Now, in a commencement speech, it's customary for a university's president to set the tone before students go out into the world and continue their new lives. But being as you've already been out on your own for at least a year or two, the tables are somewhat turned today. I would venture to guess that we have a lot to learn from you. First and foremost, we have learned from you how to adapt and change when faced with difficulty. We have learned from you how to focus our minds and hone our intellects by watching you remain engaged in your scholarship and research in spite of a global pandemic. We have learned from you how to forge meaningful connections with one another amid quarantines and separation. We learned from you how to be generous when you held PPE drives for one another. We learned from you how to fight for change when you demanded social justice, a more equitable future, and a more sustainable world. And we learn from you how to help one another and stand up for your neighbor when you lent a hand to fellow classmates who needed support or who needed an ally. We learned from you, classes of 2020 and 2021, how to think outside of our circles when you volunteered to help people in the cities in which our campuses are located, whether it was to provide health care for the young or companionship for the elderly. We learned from you how to remain flexible and to pivot when faced with obstacles or unexpected challenges. And now that you've graduated from NYU, we learned from you how to navigate new lives at times still limited by pandemic. Now, I'd just like this evening to share a few paths that you and your classmates have chosen. They are many, they are varied, and they are magnificent. Some of you are first responders, others are teachers, some of you are management consultants, journalists, or producers, artists, or writers. Some of you are helping drive technology companies in Silicon Valley. One of you is even an engineer for Lego. I want to meet that person. And of course, some of you are continuing your studies or starting businesses or working in fashion or in sports. But some of you are still figuring out what your dream jobs are going to be. Or you're rethinking your lives and the directions that you want to follow. Some of you may take some time to find your purpose, and that is okay. In many ways, we are in a time of reckoning, of taking stock of the world around us and what we value. For many of you, your time at NYU was during a politically fractious era. And we meet here at Yankee Stadium when, though the world is now opening up, world peace is under threat. In spite of the unease, we saw you, graduates of 20 and 21, we saw you challenge your thinking and explore new perspectives. And these are values we've already seen you take into your new lives. Your experience at NYU has prepared you for whatever comes next. I know that wherever your journey takes you, you will do so with an open mind, a generous heart, and a sense of community. I know this from what we have already learned from you. There is, quite frankly, little wisdom that I can impart to the classes of 2020 and 2021 who have displayed such a maturity beyond your years, navigating your time at NYU and your new lives with such grace, with such aplomb. Today, I am brimming with violet pride. I am proud of you, each and every one of you, and you should be proud of yourselves. To the parents and loved ones here today, thank you for entrusting us with your children's education. And class of 2020, class of 2021, thank you for coming back and joining us today. Thank you for everything that you have taught us. Let us never forget what we have been through together. Come back to see us often, classes of 20 and 21. And from everyone at NYU, our warmest congratulations to you all and our very, very best wishes for the future years ahead. Thank you all and congratulations. Thank you.
And now a message to the graduates from our alumni.
Congratulations, graduates. Today is your day. I'm Dasha Ratu, a graduate of the Gallatin School of Individualized Study, class of 2014, an NYU alumni trustee and president of your Alumni Association. Today you join over 600,000 NYU alumni around the world. We are ready to support your next journey and look forward to connecting with you through upcoming events and programs. And now, here are just a few alumni who want to wish you congratulations on your special day.
Congratulations, graduates! You did it! Now the real adventure begins. So go out into the world and be yourself. Please don't try to be anybody else but you.
Congratulations, graduates. You have not been chopped. You have made it. And the brilliant education that you've experienced at New York University is now yours to go forth and share with the world, along with those terrific manners you learned from New York City.
Congratulations to the graduating class of NYU. Today is your big day, and it's the next step into such a bright future. Don't forget us back at NYU. We love you, we send you love, and I hope that you take all of the wisdom, the strength, the talent, and the joy that you had here and inspire us in the real world.
NYU grads,
Congratulations.
Do great things with your education.
Change the world. We'll see you on Mars.
It is my honor to be able to share this anointing with the eminent graduates of New York University. Ubuntu. Ubuntu means I am because you are. Congratulations. Thank you for allowing me to share this blessing.
Graduates, you have worked so hard to get to this moment. But this is just the beginning of your big life on your own terms. Let go of all the shoulds. Let go of everyone else's ideas of what you should do with your life and what should matter to you, because this is your life. And it's going to be big.
I spent a good part of my life trying to help people get places, but I have done nothing compared to what NYU has done to prepare you to go wherever you want in the world. You are ready to make an impact. Good luck and congratulations.
Congratulations, all of you students and your parents sitting here today. I've been both at NYU. As a student, I couldn't have been more proud then and today that I earned my degree from this amazing university. And as a parent, I remember sitting at graduation, just like all of you today, watching my child graduate and thinking the same thing. Thank God I don't have to pay for college anymore. And to you students, the door is open for all of you. The future is yours. We're waiting for you.
The deans of each school will now present their class representatives. Graduates should stand when their dean's name is called. The recognition of the conferral of all degrees and certificates will take place after all the deans have presented. As a sign of respect for your fellow alumni, we ask all graduates and their guests to remain in their seats until all the schools have been recognized. Antonio M. Merlo, Dean of the Faculty of Arts and Science.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates from the College of Arts and Science. I would like to present Aristides Escobar, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2020. And Jendai Omowale, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2021.
Congratulations.
Trevor Morrison, Dean of the School of Law.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates from the School of Law. I would like to present Safina Leila Meklai, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2020 and the class of 2021.
Stacy Grossman Bloom, Chief Research Officer and Vice Provost for Research at NYU.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates from the Grossman School of Medicine. I would like to present Philip Thomas, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2020, and Rochelle Castillo, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2021.
Yelena Kovacevic, Dean of the Tandon School of Engineering.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates from the Tandon School of Engineering. I would like to present Jimmy R. Mendoza Farfan, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2020, and Abigail Bonilla, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2021.
Michael P. O'Connor, Executive Vice Dean, Finance and Administration of the College of Dentistry.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates from the College of Dentistry. I would like to present Ainu Han, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2020, and Elizabeth Ann Garrison, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2021.
Lynn Fiorpis, Dean of the Graduate School of Arts and Science.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates from the Graduate School of Arts and Science. I would like to present Yining Ni, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2020, and Carmen Hutchinson, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2021.
Jack H. Knott, Dean of the Steinhardt School of Culture, Education, and Human Development.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates from the Steinhardt School of Culture, Education, and Human Development. I would like to present Stacy Ann Gibson, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2020 and on behalf of the class of 2021.
Raghu Sundram, Dean of the Leonard and Stern School of Business.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates from the Leonard and Stern School of Business. I would like to present Christopher L. Holden, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2020, and Anushree Godbole, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2021.
Eileen Sullivan Marks, Dean of the Rory Myers College of Nursing.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the candidates from the Rory Myers College of Nursing who will receive their degrees today. I would like to present Brittany Tam, who will receive her diploma on behalf of the graduates of 2020 class, and Lauren Gazal, who will receive her diploma on behalf of the graduates of the class of 2021.
Angie Kamek, Dean of the School of Professional Studies.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates from the School of Professional Studies. I would like to present Isha Ulhas Sangekar, who will receive her symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2020, and Aggie Dent, who will receive her symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2021.
Sherry Glee, Dean of the Robert F. Wagner Graduate School of Public Service.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates from the Robert F. Wagner Graduate School of Public Service. I would like to present David Aronoff, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2020, and Bria Mathis, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2021.
Neil Guterman, Dean of the Silver School of Social Work.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates from the Silver School of Social Work. I would like to present Danielle Patillo, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2020, and Mariela Torres, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2021.
Allison Green, Dean of the Tisch School of the Arts.
Mr. President, I have the joy of presenting the graduates of the Tisch School of the Arts. I would like to present Oriana Sifanum, who will receive a symbolic diploma of the class of 2020, and Samuel Taylor Augustin, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2021.
Suzanne L. Wofford, Dean of the Gallatin School of Individualized Study.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates from the Gallatin School of Individualized Study. I would like to present Elizabeth Cheshire, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2020, and Judy Law, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2021.
Julie Mostow, Dean of Liberal Studies.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates in Global Liberal Studies. I would like to present Tamara Moctezuma, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the classes of 2020 and 2021.
Arlie Petters, Provost of NYU Abu Dhabi.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates from NYU Abu Dhabi. I would like to present Akin Basharan, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2020, and Gabrielle Branch, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2021.
Maria Montoya, Dean of Arts and Sciences of NYU Shanghai.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates from NYU Shanghai. I would like to present Amy Jane Ernst, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2020, and Ethan Slater, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2021.
Cheryl G. Hilton, Dean of the School of Global Public Health.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting the graduates from the School of Global Public Health. I would like to present E-Ray Kim, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2020, and Mary Virginia Holloman, who will receive a symbolic diploma on behalf of the class of 2021.
And now, Provost Catherine Fleming.
We now proceed to the formal conferral of degrees. In keeping with university tradition, we highlight this important moment by passing the university torch, the symbol of learning, from a senior member of our academic community to the most junior. Holding the university torch is Judith Haber, Ursula Springer Leadership Professor in Nursing in the Rory Myers College of Nursing. When President Hamilton commemorates the conferral of your degrees, Professor Haber will pass the torch to the youngest baccalaureate member of the class of 2020, Richard Hsu from the Tandon School of Engineering. Richard will invite the youngest baccalaureate member of the class of 2021, Victoria Tong from the College of Arts and Science, to join him. Each of them was 19 years old when they earned their degrees from NYU. Will all the graduates please now rise?
Alumni from the classes of 2020 and 2021, through your successful efforts, as certified by the recommendations of your deans, you have received this hallmark of New York University. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees, I admitted you to the degrees and certificates for which you were recommended and approved in previous years. Congratulations, NYU graduates! Graduates, you have already joined the ranks of NYU alumni and have started sharing your knowledge and using your talents to benefit humanity. Continue this tradition that reaches back to 1831 embodying the words of our motto, per stare et praestare, persevere and excel. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Well done.
Graduates, families, and friends, this concludes these commencement exercises. The platform party will now recess. Congratulations, alumni from the class of 2020 and class of 2021. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful night.
Applause.